All right, now let's go on. We've got IELTS listening section 3, the real elephant of IELTS listening. But if you practice a lot, you can easily get good score here as well. This is where sometimes you miss some of the answers. But don't worry about it. Practice well. And the type of questions that we get in listening part 3, there are only 3 types. Number 1, multiple choice, single or double. Number 2, matching. That is very common question type here. And the third question type, if you are lucky, sometimes they give you sentence completion also. But commonly multiple choice, single and double, and then matching type of questions like 21 to 25 multiple choice, 26 to 30 matching, sometimes 26 to 30 double multiple choice. So it's full of multiple choice questions. In listening part 3, there is going to be a sort of talk between 2 students, commonly 2 students, but sometimes there are 3 people. One is tutor, 2 students, right? And the tutor comes in the beginning only. Tutor says, all right, Julia and Albert, I want you to discuss about your presentation. And then they start. Then tutor is gone. But sometimes tutor participates actively. Sometimes this dialogue is with tutor and student. 2 students are discussing, tutor and student discussing, and the context is educational, academic. Listening part 1 is social. Listening part 2 is social. But listening part 3 and part 4, they are educational. Okay? So cities built by the sea. Now for a minute, I want you to imagine a city built by the sea. In Pakistan, we have Gwadar, we have Karachi, then we have Turbat. These are the cities built by the sea. I don't know if Turbat is built by the sea or not, but Gwadar is built by the sea. Karachi is built by the sea. So cities built by the sea. It means it's going to be a kind of case study of the cities which have been built by the sea. Question number 21, Carla and Rob. Rob means Daku. Okay, so his name is Daku. Carla and Rob were surprised. Underline the word surprised. And surprised is like a cha, like that. Okay. So Carla and Rob were surprised to learn that coastal cities. Now, coastal city. If you remember, we commonly use the word coastal highway. Highway that goes along the sea. Coastal city, coastal highway. So another word for cities built by the sea is coastal city. And in the audio, they will elaborate that. They will not expect you to know coastal. They will elaborate that cities built by the sea, they are also called coastal cities. Okay. Now, out of 3 factors, 2 factors are what they expect. Remember, in multiple choice questions, whenever they use the word surprised, it means 2 things would be expected or 2 things would be that they know. One thing that and with that they will say, I hadn't thought about that. I was not expecting that. I didn't know that. Something like that. And the second one will say, me too. Okay. So what? Contain nearly half the world's population. Underline half world's population. So 50% people of the world live near the sea. Right? Agree? No, exactly. Okay. Anyways, next, include most of the world's largest cities. Underline include world's largest cities. Now, if they say the largest cities of the world, like New York or this and that, they are coastal cities. This is the second one. And if they are going to say that I didn't know that, I wasn't expecting that, something like that. And option C, growing twice as fast as other cities. Underline growing twice. Growing twice means if normal cities are growing like 100 people per year, for example, coastal cities are growing 200 people, growing twice as fast. Okay, so these are 3 options. Now, out of 3 options, 2 options are going to be expected, right? And 1 option is going to be unexpected, surprising. They will express their surprise and that will be the right answer. So let's see.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is to talk to your partner about your presentations on urban planning. You should have done most of the reading now, so I'd like you to share your ideas and talk about the structure of your presentation and what you need to do next.
See that? This is the tutor. And he just said that, and now the students are going to talk.
Okay, Rob, I'm glad we chose quite a specific topic. Cities built next to the sea. It made it much easier to find relevant information.
Yeah, and cities are growing so quickly. I mean, we know that more than half the world's population lives in cities now.
Yeah, though that's all cities, not just ones on the coast. But most of the biggest cities are actually built by the sea. I'd not realised that before.
Nor me.
B? Why not A? A, excellent. Very good. Excellent. Very good. That's right. Please listen
Okay,
again.
so what I'd like you to do now is to talk to your partner about your presentations on urban planning, your ideas, and talk about the structure of your presentation and what you need to do next.
Okay, Rob, I'm glad we chose quite a specific topic. Cities built next to the sea. It made it much easier to find relevant information.
Yeah, and cities are growing so quickly. I mean, we know that more than half the world's population lives in cities now.
Yeah, though that's all cities.
More than half world's population now live in cities. That's all cities. Over here they mentioned coastal cities. So A is not the right answer. See that very technical point. A is contain nearly half the world's population. They said coastal cities, not coastal cities, all the cities. Now Lahore is not a coastal city, right? So it's only coastal cities, right? So that is why A is wrong answer, because A in the audio they said all the cities, and they did not show any surprise as well, by the way. Next.
Not just ones on the coast. But most of the biggest cities are actually built by the sea.
Most of the biggest cities are actually built by the sea. And what she says next?
I realised that before.
Nor me.
I had not realized that before. Surprised. I had not realized that before. And he said, nor me. So Carla and Rob were surprised. For were surprised, I had not realized that before. And he said, nor me. So include most of the words, largest, cities. B will be the right answer. Okay. When you write the wrong answer, you are double confident. You say, yes, I know, I heard it. They said exactly, contain nearly half world's population, but that is all cities, not just coastal cities. But this is alarming. In the past, 30% people used to live in cities and 70% in the countryside or villages. But now it's half. Yeah. So in the future, there will not be any villages anymore. Yeah. They will turn into cities. Question number 22. According to Rob, building coastal cities near to river. Now, if they build coastal cities near to river, in Lahore, we have a society called Gulshan-e-Ravi. Have you heard the name? That plots are really expensive there now. That society was built along the river Ravi, right? Very close to that. So, according to Rob, building coastal cities near to river. Option A, just underline the word pollution. If you build coastal city near the river, it will bring pollution. So A is pollution. Option B, reduce land agriculture. Try to shorten these options like Dubai English. You know Dubai English? It's really broken English, okay? You want how many person? 2 person? Okay, come, sit. All right. If you take anything, they will not say, give it back to me. They will say, come back. Come back my money. Come back. Okay, not all people, but actually they communicate well. So, yes, exactly. No tenses. Yeah. And if you speak good English there, most of the people don't understand. They look at your face. And then you have to come down to their level. Okay? Yeah. My friend Yasin was a very fluent speaker of English in Dubai. He was very comfortable with everybody. Okay? All right. So, reduce land agriculture means if you build coastal cities on the river, so it will reduce the land for agriculture. And option C, countryside spoiled. Countryside means rural area. So, rural area will be spoiled. Right? Now, let's see what will happen if we build coastal cities near to river.
And what's more, a lot of them are built at places where rivers come out into the sea, but apparently this can be a problem.
Why?
Well, as the city expands agriculture and industry tend to spread further inland along the rivers, and so agriculture moves even further inland up the river. That's not necessarily a problem, except it means more and more pollutants are discharged into the rivers.
So these are brought downstream to the cities?
Right.
Okay. Option A, pollution. More and more pollutants will be discharged. Before that, he talked about agriculture, he talked about countryside, but then he said that is not necessarily be the problem, something like that. Okay, so let's see.
And what's more, a lot of them are built at places where rivers come out into the sea, but apparently this can be a problem.
Why?
Well, as the city expands, agriculture and industry tend to spread further inland along the rivers.
Okay, so as the city expands, agriculture and industry goes towards the river. That says may reduce the land available for agriculture. So far it's correct.
And so agriculture moves even further inland up the river. That's not necessarily a problem.
That's not necessarily a problem. That's not necessarily a problem means he has denied option B.
Except it means more and more pollutants are discharged into the rivers.
More and more pollutants are discharged into the river. That is, may bring pollution to cities. All right, let's go on. Question number 23. What mistake was made? Underline mistake. When building water drainage channels, underline water drainage channels in Miami in 1950s. Now imagine water drainage channel. There are some channels like you call it Nala and all that. Okay, so water drains. This rainwater actually drains from there. Now they made a mistake. What was the mistake? They built water drainage channels. What was the mistake? Option A, not enough. Not enough. If they say they only built 500, that number is very small. There needed to be 1500 channels. So if the number is the problem, mistake is the number, A will be the right answer. Option B, underline unsuitable material. If they say they made it with plastic, which is not a suitable material, it should have been made with concrete or any other thing. Yeah, exactly. So B will be the, if material is the mistake, I mean with which they made the channel, then it is B. And option C, did not allow for the effect of climate change. So underline not allow effects of climate change. Now if they say they did not consider global warming, you know, because of global warming, sea level is rising and all that. So if the mistake is that they did not consider global warming, C will be the right answer. If the mistake is material with which they built the channel, B will be the right answer. And if the mistake is number of channels, then A will be the right answer. Let's see what is the mistake.
Did you read that article about Miami on the east coast of the USA?
No.
Well, apparently back in the 1950s, they built channels to drain away the water in case of flooding.
Sounds sensible.
Yeah, they spent quite a lot of money on them, but what they didn't take into account was global warming. So they built the drainage channels too close to sea level, and now sea levels are rising, they're more or less useless. If there's a lot of rain, the water can't run away. There's nowhere for it to go. The whole design was faulty.
So, what was the mistake? They did not consider global warming, climate change. So option C is the right answer. Now the sea level is rising and now water cannot run off. Okay, question number 24. What do Rob and Carla think that the authorities in Miami should do immediately? Now they are going to play with the word immediately. Right? So underline authorities should do immediately. Okay, listen, what is immediately? They need to take immediate action. They should do it now, right now. And if they talk about anything like it's their 5-year plan, now 5-year plan is not immediately. If you say they will do it in the long run, in the long run is not immediately. So there are 3 options. With 2 options they may use in the next 5 years, in the longer run. So that will not be the answer. The answer will be they need to do it now. It should be done at urgent basis, immediate basis and all that. Option A, Greater coordination of activities. Underline coordination of activities. Like all the departments should work together. There should be coordination. Sorry, 24. Take measures to restore ecosystem. So underline measures to restore ecosystem. Measures to restore ecosystem. And if they need to do it immediately, then A will be the right answer. And if they say in the long run, they should consider the ecosystem as well. So then it is not the right answer. B, pay for a new flood prevention system. Underline the word pay and flood prevention system. So if they talk about budget, money, payment, funds, then it's going to be option B. And if they need to do it immediately, if they say, well, right now they need to collect enough money and they have to do it urgently. Urgently means immediately. So then it can be the right answer. Option C, stop disposing of waste materials into the ocean. So if they need to stop it immediately, like they're throwing away their things into the ocean, like all the things, like in some countries, what do? They throw all the garbage into the ocean. Now they have stopped doing it. So things like that. Now let's see. Again, keep in mind the word immediately. Immediately, urgently, right now, and all that.
So what are the authorities doing about it now?
I don't know. I did read that they're aiming to stop disposing of wastewater into the ocean over the next 10 years.
But that won't help with flood prevention now, will it?
No, really, they just need to find the money for something to replace the drainage channels in order to protect against flooding now. But in the long term, they need to consider the whole ecosystem.
Right.
So, option A, yeah, they use the word ecosystem. Why not? Come on. जब उन्होंने कह दिया तो आप लोग कौन होते हैं, हाँ? Exact. Yeah, so we listen to it again. Right? Don't worry, I'm with you. Okay, I play it again. ये बच्चे ना आपको ख्वार करना चाह रहे हैं.
So what are the authorities doing about it now?
I don't know. I did read that they're aiming to stop disposing of wastewater into the ocean over the next 10 years.
They are going to stop disposing of waste materials into the ocean over the next 10 years. Option C is go, went, gone. Okay, now let's go on.
But that won't help with flood prevention now, will it?
No, really, they just need to find the money for something to replace the drainage channels in order to protect against flooding now.
They need to find money in order to protect against the flooding now. Now means immediately. So B is the right answer. Now we see why A is wrong.
But in the long term, they need to consider the whole ecosystem.
In the long term or in the long run, they need to consider the whole ecosystem. So ecosystem in the long term, not immediately. Right? This is how they play. In part 3, they check your high level of English. Now let's go on. Question number 25. What do they agree? Underline agree. Should be the priority for international action. So agree, priority, international action. Out of 3 options, on 2 options, they may disagree. On one option, one will say this is the thing, and second will say that's right. I agree with you. I am with you. I think you are right. Anything like that. Greater coordination of activities means countries of the world should work together. Greater coordination of activities. Option B, more sharing of information. Like they should share information. Now they are collecting information from Pakistan when they've seen the, strange weather patterns here, floods and all that. So more sharing of information. Next, agreement on shared policies. Like there should be some shared policies. There should be some policies and people of the world should follow them, because we have to save the globe and all that. So what do they agree? Now they are going to agree on one option out of 3. Option A, coordination of activities. Option B, sharing information. And option C, agreement on shared policies. Shared policy is a policy that is a global policy, common policy, exactly.
Really though, coastal cities can't deal with their problems on their own, can they? I mean, they've got to start acting together at an international level instead of just doing their own thing.
Absolutely. The thing is, everyone knows what the problems are, and environmentalists have a pretty good idea of what we should be doing about them. so they should be able to work together to some extent. But it's going to be a long time before countries come to a decision on what principles they're prepared to abide by.
Yeah, if they ever do.
Agreement on shared policies. Well done. That's correct. Finally, you got it. Wrong answer. Okay, I tell you why. Absolutely. Sharing of information. Yeah, another correct answer. Good. So there are two right answers. Okay. I didn't know that. All right. Anyone else? Class ki izzat bacha le. Okay. A. Well done. A is left. No problem.
Really though, coastal cities can't deal with their problems on their own, can they? I mean, they've got to start acting together at an international level.
They got to start acting together at an international level, and we are looking for agreement. Next one.
Instead of just doing their own thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely means you agree. Let's go to Islamabad. Are you willing to go there? Absolutely means agree. So correct answer is A. Now they are going to boggle your mind. Okay, let's see.
The thing is, everyone knows what the problems are.
Everyone knows what the problems are. More sharing of information we don't need. He says everyone knows what the problems are. That means we don't need to share information. So option B, he says everyone knows. That is why we don't need to do that. Now option C.
Knows what the problems are, and environmentalists have a pretty good idea of what we should be doing about them, so they should be able to work together to some extent. But it's going to be a long time before countries come to a decision on what principles they're prepared to abide by.
Okay, it's going to take a long time before countries can come to the principles they're going to abide by. So agreement on shared policies. No, it isn't that, okay? It's going to take a long time that they're going to agree on shared policies. So they agree on international action, and the lady says,
Yeah, if they ever do.
if they ever do. If they ever do means countries of the world, if they ever work together, then this is going to happen, that they have shared policies. So correct answer is A. Now, please come to questions 26 to 30. What decision do the students make about each of the following parts of their presentation? Now we have parts of presentation and decision. When they give you half a minute to read the questions, will you read questions or decisions? Questions or decisions? Okay, very good. It's a good idea to read decisions. Questions will not be replaced. For example, 26 historical background. They will not change the wording here. Geographical factor, past mistakes, future risk, they will not change any wording. All they are going to play with is that decision part. So, use visual. For visual, they can use the word image, photo, video, PowerPoint, anything like that, right? So use visual. If they use anything like that, it will go with A. Keep it short. If they say, well, my presentation is of 30 minutes and I have only 15 minutes, so I think I should cut it short. Cut it short, keep it short. So wherever they have issues with time and they say, well, it's longer than the allocated time, option B will go there. Option C, involve other students. Very simple. For that, for other students, they will use the word audience. We will ask the audience. We will allow the audience to ask us, or we will interact with the audience. Interact with the audience, ask the audience, give chance to the audience. That will go involve other students. Option D, check the information is accurate. For that, they say, well, make sure that the information is right, or we are going to assure that this piece of information is correct, like that. Option E, provide a handout. For that, they'll say, we'll give a handout, or we'll give some printed notes to everybody. It's that. Focus on one example. Now, they will not use the word example. If they say in the audio, we are going to focus on China, that is going to be appropriate. So what is China? One example, right? It's we will use China as a metaphor, or we will discuss the case study of China. Case study of China means focus on one example. Option G, do online research. Very simple. Whenever they use the word online, I'll check it on the internet. I'll Google it. I'll go to the website. I'll check it on the website. Anything like that. So G will go there, right? Now, question number 26, historical background. This is the part of their presentation. They are going to deliver a presentation. So one part is historical background. Let's see what do they say about it.
So, I think we've probably got enough for our presentation. It's only 15 minutes.
Okay, so I suppose we'll begin with some general historical background about why coastal cities were established. But we don't want to spend too long on that. The other students will already know a bit about it. It's all to do with communications and so on.
Yes.
We don't want to spend that long on that. Keep it short. We don't want to spend that long. Now, long means that much time, right? So, correct answer is B. Well done. Very good. Question number 27, geographical factors.
We should mention some geographical factors, things like wetlands and river estuaries and coastal erosion and so on. We could have some maps of different cities with these features marked.
On a handout, you mean? Or some slides everyone can see?
Yeah, that'd be better.
Handout you mean, or some slides that everyone can see. And she said that would be better. Now what would be better? Slides. Slides would be better. Try to focus this point. First she said on a handout, and then said or slides that everybody can see, right? And after slides she said that would be better. So handout would be better or slides would be better? Slides would be better, right? For example, if I say, well, we can have tea right now if you want to, or otherwise we can drink some cold coffee, and that would be better. Now, what is better, tea or cold coffee? Cold coffee would be better, right? Cold coffee, yeah, good. Okay, it's hot, so we need to have cold coffee. So correct answer is A. For visuals, they use the word PowerPoint, okay? Question number 28, past mistakes.
It'd be good to go into past mistakes in a bit more detail. Did you read that case study of the problems there were in New Orleans with flooding a few years ago?
Yes, we could use that as the basis for that part of the talk. I don't think the other students will have read it, but they'll remember hearing about the flooding at the time.
Okay. So that's probably enough background.
All right, so what are they going to do with that? Case study of New Orleans. New Orleans is in USA. Case study of New Orleans. What is that? Focus on one example. That's right. And that one example is case study of New Orleans and how the flood came there and all that. Let's go on. Next we've got future risks. Question number 29.
So then we'll go on to talk about what action's been taken to deal with the problems of coastal cities.
Okay. What else do we need to talk about? Maybe something on future risks, looking more at the long term if populations continue to grow?
Yeah, we'll need to do a bit of work there. I haven't got much information. Have you?
No, we'll need to look at some websites. Shouldn't take too long.
Okay.
We'll need to look at some website. It shouldn't take too long. Option G, do online research. For online, look at some websites. Okay, so G will be the right answer. Question number 30, international implications.
And I think we should end by talking about international implications. Maybe we could ask people in the audience. We've got people from quite a lot of different places.
That'd be interesting if we have time, yes. So now, should we go?
So, what's the answer? Involve other students. We'll be asking the audience and people from different background. So, C will be the right answer for question number 30. Okay, so listening part 3 is the main part, and you have to pay special attention to that. And by the way, if you pay special attention to listening part 3 and you start to understand, your advanced English level will also increase, because here we have got advanced English, advanced academic English. Those who are planning to study in a foreign country, they should know all these things, right? Thank you.